When I was an educator, I was the only teacher in my school that taught 8th grade science. The only one. So I could go if I was struggling with an idea or wanted to be able to process an idea or talk an idea through, I could easily go down the hall and talk to one of my colleagues about it. But there kind of got to be a point when I knew that they weren't teaching the exact same thing, and I felt like I was missing out on something. And that missing out on something made me feel kind of alone as an educator. And I think that's a common thing in smaller schools. At least that's what I found in my experience teaching in a small school in Iowa. And so when I started to learn about what a PLN is all about, it kind of helped to open up the door and open up different opportunities in my life as an educator to help me grow and understand what other teachers around the United States, around the world, are doing in their classrooms, and some ideas of getting feedback on problems, getting and sharing other resources that they're currently using to help make my classroom the best classroom that it possibly could be for my students, which is why I try to work to actively make a strong PLN online and in person as well. A PLN can be made up of a combination of different people, organizations. They're basically people that you connect with, that inspire you, and that you try to share back ideas with those groups to help be an active member in the community. You can be a member of any organization, but if you are not currently and actively giving back ideas and support, you're not going to be getting the full strength of all of the ideas and inspiration that you could get. And so I'm going to share a couple of different tools online that I use to help me cultivate my PLN, or my personal learning network. The first tool that I stumbled across, even before I knew what a PLN was all about, was Twitter. So let's talk for a quick second about Twitter. There are so many things that could be said for Twitter, but the biggest thing is that there is a very large amount of educators that have a presence on Twitter. I have been a member of Twitter since, I think, 2010 here. Oh, yep, over here since 2010. And I follow about 427 different people. That opens up my world to know what 427 other people are saying professionally about education, about different topics in education that I care about. And I actively follow different hashtags to be able to see what other new people are saying and to find other new followers on Twitter. There are around 369 different people that follow me that care and are interested in what I am saying about different things in education. This is my professional Twitter account that I use as an educator and a technology consultant, that I share out different ideas with the world. This is how I start to give back. I will put an idea out there, add a hashtag or a label, and other people may retweet it and share it with other people, or they might get inspired through that. And that's all what it's about in being in a personal learning network. There are so many different types of social media out there that you can use to connect with, and you never know how far a connection will go. In Twitter, once I even connected with an author and Oprah Winfrey, and I got a free book out of it. So you just never know how far these different connections will take you and will go. This link is below this video, and there are lots of different labels in Twitter that can be added to a thought, a question, or an idea. I use the hashtag of EdChat a lot, but there's everything from SciChat to learning more and connecting with other science teachers to all sorts of things. Algebra, AP Chem, different ed tools, movie class. I mean, there's a ton of different hashtags or labels that you could put on a tweet that you are composing to be able to share and connect with people through the medium of Twitter. There's lots of also conversations that weekly happen on Twitter, and they are called tweet chats or Twitter chats. And I've also included this link here below as well, that it will tell you the hashtag, it will tell you when, and what the audience is in different areas. Lots of people will even just kind of lurk or, just read what other people are saying on Twitter to be able to get ideas, and some people will dive in and join in the conversation. There's a video below that's an optional video that if you want to learn more about the specifics of Twitter and how to connect on there, I would encourage you to watch it. Twitter is one way and one form that you can connect online, but another way, and that's good, that as educators we often find it hard to get ourselves out of the classroom, that we feel that daily routine of pulling and I need to be there for my students every day, but you want to have that inspiration, just don't really want to write all the extra sub-plans, which is totally understandable because it can take a lot to do that and get organized for a sub and being gone for a day. So another idea to keep in the back of your mind to establish and grow your personal learning network would be to attend a virtual educational webinar, which would just be like a conference about a topic or a session about a specific topic that specific people are running. Most webinars are free. I just searched educational webinars in Google and got a ton of different hits here. There are live webinars where the speaker would actively be talking and you could ask questions there. You could learn about different organizations and people to follow from that. There are some webinars that have already happened and you could go back and you could watch them. There's one here actually about personal learning networks as the power to transform your education and help inspire you. Just by Googling educational webinars, you never know what you might find. You could sign up for them in advance. And like I said, most of them are free. Another overlooked another overlooked resource, I should say, is our national organizations. You may be a member of NSTA, National Science Teacher, or perhaps National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, or there's a wide variety of them, of different groups of educators out there specifically by subject that might share some of the same resources that you would be curious in learning more about. And lots of them have specific conferences or ways to collaborate online together with specific subject-specific areas and organizations of groups of people. That would be another way to help to grow your PLN. And continuing on in that idea of social media, there is a website called Classroom 2.0 that is kind of like Facebook for educators. Facebook for educators in the terms and ways that everything is private and in this land of Classroom 2.0. You can create a page, you can become members of different groups, and you can see different videos and you can add to different forums using whiteboards to help enhance student learning, all the way down to PE, health, technology-infused lesson plans. And so you could collaborate with other people around the United States, and I think even around the world. I think this is a worldwide area. On my Classroom 2.0 site when I was a teacher, I put out a question about a website called Storybird, and I actually had the creator of Storybird respond to me because they had a Classroom 2.0 page and they really felt that their site was very educationally relevant and responded to my question. So you just never know who is going to respond. Speaking of Facebook, there are also different ways to connect with educators on Facebook. There are different specific pages that you could learn more about different ideas. This one is a video, a mind-blowing video of why we need more teachers, but you could find different Facebook pages about a variety of educational topics. Again, I would try to separate out the idea of yourself as an individual and your idea of yourself as an educator. If you were to go on and make a Facebook page just as an educator, you could follow and like different education-based ideas and keep your personal things separate, just so that you can have those sort of separation between private life and educator life. I did that with Twitter. Like I said, my Twitter account is my professional Twitter account. I used to have just a separate Twitter account that I would use just with students, and so I kept that even separate from me as a professional and me as their teacher. So you can have those multiple personality separations online as well. One last way to connect with people, especially since all of you have Google accounts, is whenever you log into your Google, you might see this plus sign and then your name. When you click on that, it'll actually take you to your Google Plus account. In your Google Plus account, you can join a variety of different communities to, again, connect and extend the sorts of things that you learn about. You can see here some of the communities that I have joined related to Google and technology now as my new job as a technology consultant. But there's tons of different communities that you can join underneath here. Ooh, teaching resources. I better join that. That are just other ways that could get you inspired. When you join a community, you can click on that community and see what people are talking about. Again, posting in questions or answering someone else's question. Remember that we always want to try to give back to the communities that we belong in. The last video talked about lurking, and one of the things that I lurk on is I will read different blogs to help inspire me as an educator. When I find a good blog, I actually keep it as a bookmark in my Chrome, and I have created a folder over here full of the different blogs that I follow on a regular basis. And I'll just kind of, if I have 10 minutes, I'll go to one of the pages and see what they're talking about. One of my favorite ones is from Alice Keeler. She puts out a pretty regular blog, maybe a couple times a week. Lots of her topics are about Google, and so this one is all about Google in the classroom, numbering assignments, and so that's a really interesting idea that I had never heard of and thought about with how we name and work in Google Classroom. So that gives me some inspiration that I could go back to me as an educator and apply some of those things, apply some of those ideas, or maybe even tweet out this idea to my followers to help continue to create a relationship online. You can't just always take ideas without putting things back. It is about that two-way conversation there. So to kind of wrap it up, your personal learning network is about organizations and individuals that you are personally paying attention to online and in person through different organizations that you may belong to. It's important to get ideas and get inspiration, but it's also a great idea to share out how you've used that inspiration in different ways. I share out by using Twitter and connecting with different teachers in that way by putting out kind of the micro blog of what Twitter is all about. But you could also keep a blog to share out your ideas as well, or you could put a post on a Classroom 2.0 site or on a Facebook page as well of the sorts of things that you have learned and helped yourself to grow as an educator. Being reflective as an educator is a really important piece of the process that sometimes we gyp ourselves on time. So hopefully this gives you a little bit better of an overview about what a personal learning network is, why it's important to establish connections online to help us grow so that we don't feel so alone as an educator in the classroom.